Coming up on Mountain News this morning, emergency services had their work cut out for them after numerous rescues in winter weather. And small businesses are making the difficult decision to stay open or closed as the cold persists.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning, I'm Olivia Calfee. We're coming up on 5 a.m. on January 18th. Now let's check in with meteorologist Mace Michaels for a look at your forecast this morning.
Hey there, Olivia. Another cold morning here across the area where we're starting off with our WISE camera and a mostly clear sky. Our latest temperature right now is sitting at 12 degrees here in WISE. And when you look up across the rest of the area, yes, a little bitter stepping out in a few spots. We're dropping on down into the single digits. Clintwood at 7, Manchester 6, London right now at 8. So there are definitely cold pockets here across the area, and it will stay rather chilly here at least for the morning hours. Thankfully, there isn't a lot of wind. The wind chills aren't that different from the temperature. We don't have any negatives here on the map, but several areas in the single digits and low teens here to start the day. Wind speeds, as I mentioned, not too strong. A few spots, 7, Pine Mountain there at 12 miles an hour, but most areas not seeing a lot of wind. It is mostly clear, although we will start to see clouds increase, and there's a lot of moisture back to the west. That will be affecting us later tonight and tomorrow. Winter weather advisories for most of the area into early hours of Saturday. It will be a first alert weather day as we look into tonight and especially on into tomorrow for accumulating snow and some areas seeing a wintry mix. But for your drive this morning into the afternoon, not really any problems. Olivia, we're in the 30s. Full forecast coming up.
All right, thank you, Mace. The London Laurel Rescue Squad is making sure work continues at a nearby hospital. WYMT's Chandler Wilcox has more on their mission through this week's winter storm and the impact first responders have made.
The rescue squad vehicles are not just being used to carry their equipment.
The London Laurel Rescue Squad does transportation for hospital employees at St. Joe London. If they are going in on a night shift or morning shift, that doesn't matter. A lot of those employees live way out into the country where they haven't gotten to their roads yet.
Transportation includes patients needing dialysis treatment as well.
Those people have to have sometimes every other day, sometimes once a week, and it's something that's treatment that they have to have.
Transportation is a part of the mission for first responders beyond the rescue squad too.
I would have been out there too much longer. There's no doubt that I would not be here.
Smith says he was walking to a friend's house when he became weak, then called 911.
And those guys came rushing in and got me and brought me here and fed me, and they're just wonderful people.
Smith has been staying at the London Community Center, a warming center for the public during the winter storm. He says he is thankful for the life-saving work of first responders.
These guys are number one in my book.
Smith says he hopes to get back to work soon. In London, Chandler Wilcox, WYMT Mountain News.
First responders say they are keeping the London Community Center open as a warming center on a day-by-day basis as they monitor the weather. In Rockcastle County, crews braved the frigid temperatures to tend to some crashes. The Broadhead Fire Department responded to multiple crashes on Interstate 75 overnight, one near mile marker 58 and the other about 10 miles north, involving multiple semis. Officials say at least one person was injured. The incidents caused a lot of headaches for drivers, which had at one point reduced the interstate to just one lane. Kentucky State Police released a video showing the moments a group of college students were rescued in an aircraft mission in the Red River Gorge, but it was only one of two major rescues that happened this week in this weather. Grayson Passmore has more on the mission that have been called miracles.
In this newly released video, we see the moment a team of rescuers found 4 Asbury College students who had been stranded on Courthouse Rock in the Red River Gorge. The students camped overnight Sunday, waking Monday to find the area covered in snow.
And so when they went to sleep, they were fine. When they woke up, they were in a heap of trouble.
It would take a team effort from Kentucky State Police Aircraft Branch, Red Star Wilderness EMS, Powell County Search and Rescue, and Wolfe County Search and Rescue, all working together to pull this rescue mission off.
We determined that a KSP helicopter would be needed for the rescue. We were not going to be able to get up on top of Courthouse Rock with the current conditions and the rapid snowfall that we were experiencing at the time.
Crews say all 4 students were okay. The next day, another rescue mission took place at Cumberland Falls State Park.
By the luck of God, you know, these hikers that was going through actually hurt him. I mean, because we don't know if he would have lasted another day.
35-year-old Walter Dale was last seen on a trail on Sunday. Rescuers searched for 2 days before we're told some hikers heard a muffled "help me." They say Dale slid down some rocks and was found underneath a rock for shelter.
What could be done different next go around? If there's something that we can kind of put some more signage up, you know, to try to make it more educational. That way something doesn't happen next time and somebody don't slip down on these rocks.
Grayson Passmore, WKYT.
Dell was flown to the University of Tennessee Hospital to be treated for hypothermia. Rescue crews say if you are out doing primitive camping, you have to be extremely prepared for the weather. But they also say any type of camping and hiking is not recommended right now. Some local businesses in Harlan County reopened yesterday after being closed due to the hazardous conditions. When it comes to small local businesses, decisions to stay closed for a couple of days becomes extra difficult, especially with employees relying on work to pay bills. Owner of Moonbow, Tipple, and the Harlan Beer Company, Jeff Marietta, says while it's a tough decision to make, the safety of everyone was the driving factor in the decision.
It's hard. It's just really hard for small businesses. Everything's already kind of stacked against you. But again, it goes back to the safety of, you know, the people and your employees and your customers. You know, you don't ever want to jeopardize that. And that's the conversation that, you know, my wife and I have.
Marietta says he and his wife checked conditions outside themselves to determine if the roads were safe before making the decision to close. Organizations in Pike County are working to keep people blessed through the biting cold. Officials with the East Kentucky Dream Center and Grace Fellowship are working to keep their blessing boxes stocked against the winter weather. From winter wear to sustainable food and snack options, organizers say the boxes, which are some of only a few in the city, play an important role in helping those in need.
People still depend on places like the Dream Center, like Grace Community Kitchen, for the extras. And those extras are coats and gloves and socks and things that we take for granted, things that, you know, you wouldn't even think of somebody needing right now.
You can drop off donations 24/7 and place them in the boxes to bless your neighbors. We have an update on the recovery of Kentucky Congressman Hal Rogers after he was involved in a car crash last week. Officials say Rogers was released from the hospital and has moved on to physical rehabilitation to help recover from his back injury. The 86-year-old Dean of the House says he is working to regain his strength and get back to work as soon as possible. And thanks for getting your day started with us here on Mountain News this morning. Coming up, we'll take a look at national weather and how snowstorms have affected the U.S. from coast to coast.